paradox of today is alone but never separate. In your life, you can be surrounded by people. You can even be in a marriage and still feel deeply alone. And sometimes, in the stillness of solitude, you feel completely connected and self expressed. It is one of the most mysterious experiences of the inner journey. The deeper you go, the fewer the people seem to understand you. And yet, you are more connected. You feel to something universal. This, my friends, is the paradox of solitude. Solitude can isolate you from the world and unite you with the macrocosmic whole in the same moment, in the same breath. Remember, the solitude of the soul is sacred. As we grow, we often find ourselves in the spaces that may feel somewhat lonely. Old relationships and friendships don't resonate anymore. We don't feel like we belong there. Shallow conversations become harder to tolerate. And silence begins to feel like I am home. This is not that you're becoming antisocial. It's just simply evolutionary. Spiritual texts speak of this as the hermit phase, when you're acting like a hermit. A season of inward withdrawal. That is not exile. You have not left forever. But it's a season of initiation, of beginning of your journey on the path. The Buddha sat alone under the Bodhi tree. Mirabai sang songs alone to her Lord in the middle of social rejection. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, one who delights in solitude eats lightly, controls speech, body, and mind. Solitude is not absence of connection with the world. Solitude is the presence of pure presence itself. And by the way, beyond spiritual beliefs, neuroscience also supports the profound evolutionary impact of solitude. Modern neuroscience confirms what ancient wise people always knew. Periods of solitude activate the default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for self-reflection. That means the capacity to learn and grow. Memory integration, having a profound sense of collection of what's happened in our life, and even future envisioning. In other words, when we step away from noise, we don't shut down. We tune in not only to our inner self, but also the larger whole around us. Have you ever noticed that your deepest clarity often arrives not in conversation, but in quiet walks? Or, if you're me, even in long, hot showers or silent mornings. When you're by yourself, the inner voice grows louder. And that voice often speaks, not in words, but in knowing. So this separation is just the illusion. It's not the solitude. As you evolve, you might feel a little bit misunderstood or unseen. It's tempting to interpret this as something being wrong with you. But in reality, this is what happens. When you shift frequencies, you no longer resonate to your past. You resonate with a different dimension, different depth of truth. In Vedanta, we are taught Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that, which basically means the self in you is the self in all. What feels separate is actually unified through awareness. In solitude, you are not cut off. You are being restored to the wholeness of it all. So the paradox is this. Solitude may feel like disconnection, but it is often where the deepest belonging is revealed. Loneliness can be a very nice teacher, not because it gives you company, but because it shows what kind of company you truly long for. And what no longer fits the shape of your soul, you are willing and ready to let go. So when you feel a sense of solitude, ask yourself, can I allow this season of solitude to be something profound? Ask yourself, what is the silence trying to teach me that the noise of this external world could never? Also check in and explore What parts of me are going stronger in the absence of being seen and having to comply to stereotypes? You may be alone on the surface, people may see, but you are never separate from the source, from the Brahman, the source of all creation. Solitude is not a punishment, it's a preparation. So sit, breathe, and let your own presence be enough. And you will find in one breath the infinite eternity, and in one moment the timeless, formless oneness of the whole. That is the power of solitude.